Chucky Olives, Charles Olives. We can't even disrespect. The man's name is Charles Oliveira, do Bronx. He is the new lightweight champion and suffered some real deal adversity in the first round of his bout against Michael Chandler, man. For a quick second, I said, man, this cannot be going any more perfect for Michael Chandler than it is now, man. Like, this is picture perfect narrative. He's about to knock out Charles Oliveira in the first round. We're all going to sit here and be like, damn, well, I guess he does belong in the UFC and whatnot. But what happens, man, it's a thing that a lot of people were actually calling for. They're saying that if Michael Chandler doesn't knock you out in the first round, he's not going to win the fight. And I do think that he did. There was something in terms of the mental that comes with, I gave you my best shot. I had you hurt. And you're coming out storming in the next round. Like, there's something where it's like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? Like, that's if Edson Barboza. What if Edson Barboza was putting it on Burgos? And then, I mean, well, that's kind of what the Burgos situation was, right? Burgos was just like, all right, bro, well, I'm going to keep walking forward. You could kick me in my leg 100 times. It doesn't matter, right? We'll talk about that in a second. Nonetheless, man, Michael Chandler, just give me your impression before we talk about Charles Oliveira. Michael Chandler put up a very valiant effort, man. And I do think it's very clear he does belong in the UFC. And there are a lot of fun fights that we can make for him in the future. But just not quite ready for that championship. You know what I mean? Mentality here in the UFC, maybe it was a little overconfident. Give me your take on the fight.
Man, I mean, I was excited, man, because I called the round one knockout for Michael Chandler, and I thought it was going to happen. I was screaming, I was excited, and then absolutely stunned silent in the next minute. Like, it was crazy. And, I mean, Charlie Oliveira fought the perfect fight against Michael Chandler. Maybe not so in the first round. Yeah. You know, he did have the moments where he was pressuring. That's what he needed to do. You know, that front kick was working nice. But that second round, he came out storming, brother. And that's exactly like you were saying. Michael Chandler, you get him past that first round. He doesn't necessarily have the wherewithal to keep going. He's very much so a blitz you, hold you down, and beat you up very fast kind of fighter. So, man, Charlie Oliveira did it exactly like he was supposed to. And that check left hook, it was so fast. Me and my buddy were watching it. And he was like, I looked away for a split second, didn't see what happened. And it was so fast that I was like, I think it was a left. I think he hit him with a left. I'm not really sure. But sure, it ended up that it was a check left hook. Beautiful on the button. He was out. And Michael Chandler, take it, you know, give him some credit, because he was out on his feet and he got caught with three more. That was eventually what put him down. And it was a good fight, man. I was super impressed. Like you said, Charlie Oliveira, nothing you can take away from him. This dude Bronx is real deal. He's been in the UFC. He's been in the UFC game for so many years now. So it's about time. You couldn't have seen it happen to a better guy. But also Michael Chandler, he's real deal, man. He put up a great fight. And, you know, that's the way the cookie crumbles, like you said earlier, Derek. That's the way the cookie crumbles. And sometimes in the fight game, you get caught with a clean left check when you weren't noticing it. And those the ones you don't see are always the ones that hurt you the most. And do Bronx and new. You know, that's what it is, Derek.
Yeah, man. Michael Chandler, he said it best himself. He was like, I zigged when I should have zagged, man. It happens in this games. I've had a lot of ups, a few downs, man, but I will be back to contend for another championship, man. I don't think it'll happen as soon as he's talking about. He said, I guarantee I'll be champion within the next 12 months. I don't think that's how it works, pal. You know, you already had your shot. Now we got to move on to a couple other people, you know what I'm saying? But I do think he will be around for a while, man. I think he's in his mid-30s right now. He still has some time to really make some noise. But ultimately, man, this is really, I mean, like, how would history have changed if the referee stopped the fight when Do Bronx was ducking and weaving on all fours, moving his head like that, you know, Benson Henderson style? If the referee would have just, I honestly thought he was going to just pull him off and been like, okay, early stoppage for Chandler, but a stoppage is a stoppage and we're going to give it to him, right? I thought that's what it's going to be. How would history change, AJ, before we talk about, you know what I mean, a couple more of these fights and whatnot? How would history change if the referee would have just pulled Michael Chandler off of him and we would have heard and knew from Michael Chandler after winning one fight in the UFC, becoming a champion?
Well, I definitely, I'm with you, man, because I thought for sure when he was on that turtle pose and he was, you know, hands going back and forth, and Michael Chandler was clipping him a couple times. So he was getting him. He rolled onto his back, started the ground and pound. The end was nigh, Derek, and that ref, if he would have called it, I mean, I would have been happy. But I think the notion that Michael Chandler was unearning, didn't deserve it. It was a fix. The ref was an early stoppage. There would have been a lot more critique and criticism on Michael Chandler in his career, and it would have been a less solidified victory in the eyes of a lot of people, especially because Michael Chandler isn't the biggest fandom in MMA. So I definitely think, you know, it would have played a little bit more to the narrative, maybe even got Charlie Oliveira a rematch right away. But I don't think Michael Chandler's going to get the rematch right away. It was a good win.
Yeah, absolutely not. Michael Chandler, now he has to fight it down. You know what I mean? You got your good run of luck, you know, early on in your UFC tenure, but now you got to do the thing that other UFC fighters have to do, right? Because let's talk about it. Charles Oliveira, he had to win 18 UFC fights before he got one title shot. That's ridiculous, right? Now, not only is he the champion, but he has also passed Cowboy Cerrone for most finishes in UFC history with 17. And listen, man, like I said, early adversity early on, that's the heart of a champion, man. And I do just want to point this out before we move on, man. When he was celebrating, when Oliveira was celebrating, he did the same thing Amanda Nunes did. And this made me think that these championships must mean so much more to these Brazilians, man. So much more to these people who have seen, like, you know, real poverty, real adversity in life. Not just in the combat organizations, not just in the cage, but in life, right? So when he runs around and he's jumping for joy and he's holding it like that, I'm just like, dude, you got to feel for the guy. You got to be like, dude, I don't know how long Charles Oliveira is going to be able to hold on to this belt, man, but I'm happy while he is able to hold on to it because we'll talk about it in matchmaking in a second, man, but Justin Gaethje next, maybe? I don't know. We'll see. Before we go there, man, or what you got, AJ?
Yeah, no, to that point, Derek, man, and Dude Bronx is real. I was watching a thing on, it was either, I'm pretty sure it was Chael Sonnen's YouTube show where he was saying that most Brazilians try to get out. Like they try to get out of Brazil. They try to get out of the favelas. They try to get out of that lifestyle. And that's kind of what everyone wants. You know, you grew up in the hood. Everybody's you want to get out. That's just the thing. Nobody wants to be stuck there except for Charlie Olives, my man. He's the only one. And he even said in his interview, favela, we did it. Like he's real deal G. He's homegrown, bro. He's legit, man. And I love to see that. And like you're saying, I was very excited, man. The champ does what he wants. He wants to jump out of that cage and run around. Do it for Braza, bro. I was very happy to see it go down, Derek. I was excited, man.
Bro, it was incredible. He went and jumped on the commentary stand, was face to face with Joe Rogan, right? And I love that you just said that because that's the Conor McGregor. Now Charlie Olives can do it, or Charles Oliveira, right? The champ does what the champ fucking wants to do, bro. That's what happens when you get that goal, man.